I'm back with another episode of SaCH Talks. Today I have with us an amazing woman, a superstar, Cheryl Collins. She is founder of Women Entrepreneurs Worldwide. Welcome to the show, Cheryl.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here. It's so great to be here in India. My second time visiting. Really having an awesome time.
It's all our pleasure to have you here, and I think the audience looks forward for an exciting talk because the audience is women entrepreneur. That's your tribe,
Okay.
and my tribe as well as a business coach. So, Cheryl, I want you to first share quickly what was your journey about, what made you start Women Entrepreneurs Worldwide.
Okay, Women Entrepreneurs Worldwide really started in 2009, and it comes on the heels of the global economic recession. I was part of the corporate world, and I was in the legal profession, and I also was a general manager for a $2 million company a year. When the economic recession hit, then jobs went out, and before that I was already thinking about transitioning to do something different. So that's how Women Entrepreneurs Worldwide came about in 2009, and I said for all the years that I've been working, there has to be something that I can do, for someone else, and how I can, feel like I've contributed something, as far as, and then seeing women in the working world. And I felt like, I know there must be something. So I sat down at the table one day and I just said, I'll go online and I'll start this group, Women Entrepreneurs Worldwide. I named it Worldwide because I knew that everything that I was doing was global. Our line is building global relationships and networking bridges, around the world. So it had to be something that was all inclusive. And so I've been, to several countries, I should say a few, and just connecting with women and so forth. And online, even with that, our major platform is LinkedIn. We have over 2,000 connections, members, and followers. Right now, presently, the members are numbering about 9,000. And I try to connect with many people that want to be connected to, and women. And so it has really branched. A lot of things have happened. Even most recently, I've been given an invitation to work with the women of Afghanistan, and I thought that was a real honor.
Wow.
I also work with women in Kenya and Indonesia, and it's a pleasure. It's just a pleasure to see that even just with having a conversation with another woman and just letting her talk, there's no conversations that I have that are not less than 2 hours. So that's how it is.
Yeah, so it's amazing to hear how one person can actually go all out and start something globally. So all of you who are looking to, who are ready, who have inhibitions that you can't go global, here is a woman sitting with you who just one day thought, and today she's heading a global organization for women entrepreneurs. Okay. So Cheryl, when I interact with women entrepreneurs, so as a business coach, I always come across one challenge, which is a mind. More than any other challenge, financial, I come across people who have a lot of inhibitions, and they come with a lot of baggage from their families, and even though they are wonderful, they can do better than what they're doing. So do you also feel, working with so many countries, do you feel that mindset is the biggest challenge, or you feel there is some other challenge which you will say is the first challenge to become an entrepreneur for women?
I think you hit it a little bit. It's mindset. When you find challenges, and they're different from country to country, although we're all women, but there's some that inhibit us more than others. And with those, you have to find a ground where you can meet women at, especially mentally. Everybody doesn't receive things the same way. Some people are more, I just was asked yesterday in an interview, why is it that I think that so many people reach out to me, and before I could answer, after what I had done with the session, the interviewer said, I think it's trust. And I believe that. I think it's a trust factor. I think that people view your body language One of the things that I like about being on LinkedIn is because you get an opportunity to read profiles. And the profiles, and it's not that I just help women who have degrees, or because I don't, whether you have a degree or not, you're still a woman, you still face challenges. There are things that are still going on that you know, if you talk to someone, you can enlighten them. And I think that people have to, women, you can't really instill confidence in someone, but I think if you're around them enough, I think some things do rub off. You're not trying to change their personality. I tell people, women, when I go into their countries, I'm not here to change anything. You know, your culture, I'm not trying to deviate from that. But I would like you to take a look at yourself and say, I know that there's some things that I want that I can get done, and I'm going to push forward to do that. And from that point, it starts with building the confidence. I try to move towards self-sustainability, things like that. Right now we're in the movement of trying to raise entrepreneurs in rural areas. And depending on what it is in that area that an entrepreneur can subscribe to. Because it may be something different that they do in Kenya, that they do in Indonesia, or that they do in India. You know, so they're depending on what the rural area is. So I do believe that it starts with the mind. I think it has to do with the willingness of an individual too. And you have to come to a point where we say in the States, you get tired of being sick and tired. So you do that, you know, that's just kind of something that we say. And then you rise to the occasion. It's different, it's a different momentum for each person.
Fantastic. But somehow you agree to the mind that it all starts with mind. But yes, when we go, I mean, we see cross culture, there are different issues.
Yes,
okay.
But it's still all mind, yes.
It's all mind, yeah. So, as I always have said in my training sessions and in my chats as well, you have to really begin with yourself. And if you can conquer your mind, you can conquer anything, believe you me. Cheryl, I've been really inspired being in this conference with you, and I loved your story and the way you're doing this. Now, there are a lot of women who are coming from background where they do not have access to such platforms and such networks like you and I have. What would you like to, tell those women, especially in India? If you go to rural India, you'll find that they don't have access to internet, so they can't access YouTube videos as well, or any online training or anything. So what we are trying to do is to build a community of women who can then go to rural and teach. However, again, coming from a rural background and then thinking international is very, very difficult. So if there are anything that you have learned from your experience that you can share with them that will help them go international?
I really think that, I'm going to just deal with here in India right now, that if it is possible that in your coaching and you could build a team and do nothing but concentrate on one rural area at a time. And I always say, each one, reach one, to teach one, to propel many. And when you do that, it's not that you're trying to get 100 people to a plateau. You're trying to take 1 or 2 people at a time. And so if you build a team, and the concentration is a particular area, and you have a designated plan and strategic planning of what you're going to do, and that doesn't happen overnight. You have to work with people. Change doesn't come overnight for anyone. Changing habits or mentality or mindset is not an overnight process for anyone. I would even say it's not one for me. No.
Agree.
So I think teamwork. I think consistency of encouragement. I think mentoring, choosing the right mentors. I'm big on that. I'm big on choosing the right coaches. I know that there are a lot out here, and a lot of coaches developed because of the economic recession. I'm not going to say that, and even in the business of choosing the right individual, you have to have a global mindset. You have to have an acceptance for people. Everybody is not called to do global work. So I'm not saying that you can't do it because you're not educated. I'm saying that you have to have it within you. You have to have a certain respect for other cultures and people and an understanding for them. It's not the me factor or the I factor, it's about the we factor, how we can help each other.
Wow, very well said. It's not about you and I, it's about we. And if you're someone who's coming from a rural background, or if you feel that you have limited resources, I loved what Cheryl said, believe in teamwork. So what you can do is probably tie up with someone who is working globally or internationally, who can give you an access to that market, or do your bit, do that well, and if you connect with right people, you'll be able to sail through. Wonderful, Cheryl. So as ending points, Cheryl, is there any message that you would like to give to your listeners?
I would like to give a message and say to women, don't let anyone else define you. You define yourself. Because we have another saying, everybody puts their pants on the same way. So don't ever put anyone on a pedestal. Don't let anyone define you. Understand that you have self-worth and that you are a woman, and without these women, nobody else would be here. So that's my message to them. And I'm very open to helping in any way that I can. If you would like me to do that, and we could work together.
Sure, that'll be wonderful.
Yes.
I hope you all had great time listening to Cheryl. And if you want to connect with me or Cheryl, do drop in your comments and email to us. We'll wait for your feedback and your connections that you want through us. Have a great time, and as I always say, women are born entrepreneurs. You only have to believe it. Bye for now.